Authorities in the Czech Republic are searching for a motive after that country's worst ever mass shooting. On Thursday, a 24-year-old gunman shot dead 14 people at Charles University in the capital, Prague. Police believe he then turned the gun on himself. Authorities say there is no link to terrorism here. The country has declared Saturday a day of national mourning.
Police in Prague share body cam footage, piecing together scenes from the country's deadliest shooting in decades. Just 5 minutes in, police say these officers arrive at the university. Searching for the gunman on the loose, they climb up.
The disadvantage at that point was that there was no sound of gunfire, so the officers had to actively search for the perpetrator. The only information we got about the perpetrator's movements was that he was supposed to be somewhere on the upper floors.
As more officers deployed and got closer, they say the shooter committed suicide, bringing the situation under control after some 30 minutes of frantic horror. The next day, outside the site of the massacre in Prague's historic center, it's a day of mourning. The Czech Prime Minister is among hundreds who visited the makeshift memorial to pay tribute. Many are still in shock.
I feel strange, bad, horrible, because I am a lecturer at the theatre faculty and we were experiencing very strongly what was going on at the Faculty of Arts. It is horror. I cannot even speak.
It is not a pleasant feeling to walk on the street and think about what happened to someone who came to school absolutely carefree, thinking about Christmas coming in 2 days.
The incident has left many overwhelmed, with a somber mood just before the holidays.
I want to go now to journalist Ian Willoughby. He is in Prague. He's been following the story closely for us. Ian, this has been the deadliest shooting in the history of the Czech Republic. With that in mind, how is the country beginning to come to terms with this tragedy?
Well, there's a very somber mood here in the Czech Republic this evening. Flags are at half-mast, as we saw in some of those images, a kind of informal, spontaneous memorial to the victims of yesterday's mass shooting has sprung up in Prague. People have been stopping by there, lighting candles, laying flowers at this spot, just a short distance from the bottom of Wenceslas Square. There's been a real outpouring of grief here in the Czech Republic, including on social media, where during the day, more and more names of the victims of yesterday's mass shootings have been coming out.
Yeah, what more do we know about the gunman, Ian? And I'll ask you, I mean, do we know anything more today than we did yesterday about a possible motive?
Not more about a motive, but what was confirmed a couple of hours ago is that a gun that was found at this young man's home had been used a week previously in another terrible crime, a double murder in which a man walking his child in a woodland area near Prague was shot dead, and so was the child, a 2-month-old baby girl shot dead in her pram. And that crime horrified people here in the Czech Republic. It had been dominating news for the whole week until yesterday's terrible events. And now it transpires that evidently these two crimes were connected by the same killer.
And Ian, we know that here in Europe, in comparison, the Czech Republic has very liberal gun laws. Do you think that there will be any moves to restrict access to firearms after what has happened?
Well, there are a lot of guns in the Czech Republic. Something like 300,000 legally held guns exist in this country with a population of less than 11 million people. So far, though, I haven't seen so much debate about whether access to weapons should be restricted. What happened yesterday was very much a one-off event. The Czech leaders have been portraying the assailant as a kind of deranged individual. The debate on the access to guns may hot up, but for now, there's more and more discussion about security and security at Czech schools and universities. that's something that people are focusing on right now.
Okay, journalist Ian Willoughby reporting from Prague tonight. Ian, as always, we appreciate your reporting. Thank you.